Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this latest edition of Casino Life and Sports Betting Operator TV. My name is Peter White, and I own this media. And today, we're privileged to have Michael Silverling, CEO of Metropolitan Gaming. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. Nice to see you in our property in Brighton. Hope you're enjoying your day.
It's a fabulous casino, so really appreciate you letting me the opportunity to take this interview from this fabulous location. It's a sunny day by the sea as well. Great location.
Fantastic.
So if that's okay, Michael, we'll crack on with the first question, and that is, would it be correct in saying that two words encapsulate your 2 years at the helm of Metropolitan Gaming? First is acquisition, the other is innovation. The acquisition being the Park Lane Casino, and innovation has been the investment by your organisation last 2 years in the refurnishment and upgrades that program that's been put in place.
Absolutely. I can't believe 2 years has gone by. A lot of activity here. Full credit to our owner, Silverpoint Capital, as compared to the previous owners that had actively stated they were not interested in the international arena or business. So Silverpoint invested in the company knowing full well that they wanted to support it to grow. We bought the Park Lane Hilton Casino. We've refurbished where I'm sitting here today, the beautiful Metropolitan Mayfair Casino. We have more refurbishments planned for the very near future. In addition to that, we've rolled out a new brand. We have a new online business. We have a new loyalty program. We have a new app. We have a new and strengthened management team. We bought a license in Birmingham. So we've been busy in the last 2 years.
You've mentioned from the online standpoint, that's actually my next question involved with that. It's the expansion into the online and the gaming platform that's been live streaming. How's it performing, and what's the relationship with your partner, Spark Global?
Yeah, so we were the largest land-based casino operator in the UK without an online presence. So we're pleased that we've got Met Gaming up and running online. It's performing very well. We're continuing to grow and acquire new customers every single month. We're partnering with Aspire out of Israel. They've been great partners for us, and we certainly a highlight is the live streaming that we're doing both out of Manchester and out of our Empire Casino at Leicester Square. Wait for it. I hope to be live streaming out of Metropolitan Mayfair soon with Authentic. So we're happy with our partners, and we're happy with the growth in this new business segment for us. The reality is, customers of ours that when we didn't have online, we just know from empirical research they were gaming online, just not with us. So now we can keep it all in the family.
Very clever. I mean, earlier this year, the iconic Empire Casino launched the 7th cat, a vibrant Chinese kitchen by Chef Ellen Chu. I mean, is food and beverage one of the sectors that you're targeting with this, refurb and innovation program in place?
Yeah, there's no question we want to make food and beverage a differentiator in our business. We're partnering with Ellen Chu at Empire. We have a great partnership with James Martin in Manchester. We have a partnership with Marco Pierre White in Nottingham. Really having the food and beverage experience be part of a night out is something that we think is very important. So, in Empire with Ellen Chu, I think we're one of the largest purchasers of duck in London and the UK. So please come by and try some duck and rice and duck and noodles.
That'd be great. I really look forward to that. I mean, I'm here, as you mentioned, at the superb Rendezvous Brighton Casino, which is my local casino. What is Metropolitan Gaming's approach to your regional casinos? Is there a unified theme and design shared by all, or are they all kind of tailored to their local locations?
Yeah, I hate to equivocate and say yes to both. We have different brands in different locations, and in Glasgow we're serving haggis, and in Brighton we're not. So we certainly tailor to the local market and have, different names in some of the different casinos as well, all under the Metropolitan brand. But we do have unifying elements throughout. So you would be able to work with the Metropolitan Loyalty Club in all of our casinos. We're rolling out a player's menu that will have, I've challenged them to make the best burger in the UK. We'll see how we do. So there will be unifying elements around national promotions, loyalty programs, food menus, while trying to continue a local flavor for the local market everywhere we operate.
Fabulous. And I mean, with that, how would you describe your role at the organization?
Yeah, well, look, as chief executive, the buck stops here. I have overall responsibility for the organization. Certainly, in any casino company, the regulatory environment and the compliance environment is very important. Probably more so in the UK than in other markets that I've operated in. So making sure I set the tone at the top correctly for doing business the right way. But I'm involved in all aspects, whether it be marketing, finance, HR, legal, et cetera. I would hope my teammates and colleagues say that I don't micromanage. So I just try to occasionally inspect what I expect and let the good people in all those areas do their jobs. But it is an encompassing role, which I frankly relish. So I enjoy the multi-natured. Maybe I have a bit of ADHD because I like a lot of different things coming at me every single day. But at the end of it, I think, and there's many people make a living in a lot of different ways. What I do for fun is put out games for people to play at the end of the day. So, long may that last. Let the games be offered and the playing commence.
Yeah. Well, this interview couldn't be complete without mentioning the UK's gambling white paper. What are your hopes for the outcome of this now in its fourth year? And it looks like next year is going to be an election year as well. So their agendas will be quite busy, I guess.
Sure. Is it 4 years? I thought it was longer than that. I've been back in the UK for 2 years, and my hope is for greater consumer choice, greater customer experience as they're evaluating in the land-based sector, allowing more slot machines. I think that will allow more vendors to come into to the market. They're talking about RNG, random number generators, which will perhaps allow us, in additional to electronic table game that's focused largely on roulette, maybe we can bring in baccarat and blackjack as well. They're talking about credit, which I think from a domestic policy point of view, the more money that you can get coming into your jurisdiction from foreign jurisdictions is the greatest economic multiplier you can possibly get. So getting high net worth customers in London and in Mayfair having credit is essential to doing that. And if we bring in these high net worth customers who stay in nice hotels and shop at Harrods, at Selfridges, this is what the government should be trying to accomplish. And perhaps not finally in terms of white paper discussion, but maybe in terms of this discussion, cashless. I don't carry cash when I buy my cup of coffee in the morning, when I get onto the bus or the tube. I don't use cash in almost every single transaction that I do, and yet the casino segment, through regulatory requirements, lags in the use of cashless as well, which is what consumers want to do, frankly, in a post-pandemic environment. Who wants to handle cash, which has been dirty? So from a public health point of view, it should be a goal of government. So I hope these things come through the consultation and through government, and that we can push through. Everyone is talking about when the election is going to be, but I'm sanguine that some of these initiatives that will, I think, be economically helpful to the UK government in terms of creating an environment where we can have more capital investment, we can have more taxes generated for the government, we can have more employment, we can be greater tourism, greater appeal to tourists I hope on both sides of the aisle and before the election, we can get these through.
So exactly what you say, Michael. Post Brexit, it was a case of deregulate, open up the UK as the trade to the world, and it hasn't quite occurred like that. So yes, I fully appreciate your comments. And what is I mean, it's the 17th of November, and it's the last day of the Safer Gambling Week. And with that, I'd just like to say, well, what is the approach of Metropolitan Gaming to safer gambling?
Yeah, look, I mean, the approach and my approach, having done this in over 30 years in this industry, in Australia, in New Zealand, in North America, in Canada, in the US, in South America, in the Middle East, everywhere I go, you know, you want to create a safe environment for customers. You know, you have 99% plus of customers who enjoy this legal product without issue, but just like Porsche will put in seat belts and have airbags, you know, we need to make sure that we have an environment where for that smaller, you know, perhaps less than 1% of the population that has an issue, we need to make sure that we have an environment that takes those customers into account. I'm not a trained psychologist or clinician, and yet we need to have things in place where we can help identify and get patrons to a place where they can get help. So I am fully supportive of a very safe gaming environment. I'm also very supportive of being compliant with every law and regulation that's out there, although I can say sometimes the UK regulatory environment makes it a little bit more difficult. They should for the 99% plus of people that do enjoy this product legally. I am a libertarian, thinking people should be able to have a gamble or have a drink if they so choose, without a nanny state or interference. But nonetheless, with that caveat, I'm happy to say that we are in full compliance, and I'm very supportive of having a safe environment for our customers.
Yeah, because of the whole tourism mix. I mean, just need to see what's going on right now in Las Vegas with the Formula One. They really encapsulate it's a destination for fun and leisure, and London has got all the resources. And you know, people like to have fun, take a bet, and gamble, and this in the whole tourist mix of it all. You know, it's a massive factor, and as you say, the regulations aren't really helping the industry, and which it employs a heck of a lot of people as well.
I am pleased to say that under Andrew Rhodes' leadership, I think that the Gaming Commission is engaging more with the industry. That doesn't mean that we get what we want, but I think at least dialogue is good. So I'm pleased with that. And despite the fact that I think that the UK regulatory environment is more rigorous in ways that don't help stated goals of safer gaming, I do hope that we're moving in the right direction.
How the leisure industry sector has been hit post-pandemic with staff recruitment and retention challenges. Has the casino operations been affected at Metropolitan? And if so, how has it coped with the situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think Metropolitan Gaming, I think the casino industry, I think the hospitality sector in the UK and potentially worldwide has all been hit by this. The macroeconomic winds around post-Brexit, post-pandemic, in the midst of the greatest world war, European war since World War II. We operate in Cairo, where there's obviously conflict in the Middle East right now. So there's all sorts of headwinds, inflation, energy costs in the business. So you know, we just are trying to do the right thing, and you know, probably the biggest, most visible issue for us is staffing. Getting staff in food and beverage, getting dealers behind the table. So we just have to do a better job of making sure the entire package of coming to work for us, which includes pay, but has other items in healthcare and pensions, and whether we throw Christmas parties, and you know, the entire environment in which we operate, we need to have a compelling employee value proposition that makes people want to work with us. And I assure you, it's not an easy task for us. To the extent I talk to our casino competition, and to the extent I'm visiting food and beverage and hotel venues in London and around the world, it's not pain that's just felt by me.
All right. How do you see Metropolitan Gaming positioned in the current and future gaming market?
You know, look, I think a lot about the micro markets in which we operate in Leicester Square and in Nottingham, and I would really like to be, you know, the first or second, ideally the first choice for customers, measured in attendance, measured in gaming revenue, measured in customer service surveys. I'd be the first to admit that we're not there yet, but I think that we're very aspirational in making this brand the #1 brand in all of the micro markets in which it operates. And that's such a holistic thing, from quality of food to the pricing to the games offered to customer service. But we are very active on all those places, and not resting, aspiring to be #1 in all those areas and markets. So.
Well, my final question, Michael, is how has life at Metropolitan Gaming and living in the UK, being from an American who's lived here now for 2 years?
Yeah, look, I'm all in. I've recently moved from being a renter to being a flat owner. I have tickets to Arsenal, which has been generally better than worse, depending on the day and the week. I enjoy exploring the UK and Europe in general. I was just at the Rugby World Cup cheering on England, and I was on the wrong side of both the games I went to. Apologize to my South African friends. I was cheering against the Box, but from a suburb boy from the United States, having a chance to live in such a vibrant place as London and have access to Europe, it's very exciting. The work, I'm all in. I described the macroeconomic challenges. I described the challenges in the regulatory and political environment. We have very supportive owners. We have a great team. You mentioned Las Vegas. When I see what could be done to promote, and I repeat myself, but this is really how I feel, jobs and tax generation and capital investment and tourism, I really think that the UK government could be doing itself a favor in how it interacts with this business. But in the meantime, we have a given set of rules and a set regulatory environment that we are committed to operating in with full compliance and having a fun time buying casinos, buying licenses, refurbishing, opening new restaurants, thinking about how we can make the casino entertainment experience better. So I'm fully engaged in all in with Metropolitan Gaming and London.
Well, that's all we say is thank you very much, Michael. I know how busy a schedule you have, and this meeting's actually been booked months ago, so it just proves how busy you are. And it's, to say, a real pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We've got American Thanksgiving coming up. I hope you have a nice Thanksgiving and a happy holiday period. So thanks.